So welcome to Standard 2.9, where we'll be looking at exponential and logarithmic functions. In particular, we'll be looking at the relationship between the two. Also, the special exponential function, where it'll be e to the x, and also the natural log function, which is the inverse of e to the x. And they also want you to recognize these relationships. So they actually give it to you in the formula guide, right? So this is what you'll be provided. But like anything in the formula guide, you want to make sure that it's not brand new to you and that it's only going to be there to jog your memory. But for the most part, you should recognize and you should understand that what is e to, let's say, I'll use actual numbers here just to make it clear. So just to give a concrete example, what would, let's say, e to the natural log of, 99 be? So we should recognize that what is that saying? The natural log of 99 is saying which exponent will take e to the 99. So whatever number that is, I don't know, it would probably be something like, somewhere between 3, 4, something, non-whole number. Doesn't matter. But whatever that number is, that will be our exponent here. In other words, this here should be equal to e to the 99. In other words, that there should be equal to 99 itself, right? So that's what they're really that's almost what they're telling you there. They add one other aspect. They said, let's say we're to say, say 3 natural log of 99. And we should recognize here that if we're putting a constant in front of a logarithm, it's the same thing as writing it like this, which is why this here is going to be equal to 99 to the 3, right? And that's really what they have. That's an explanation of what they show over there. Another thing that they mention is, let's say with log of any base, let's say log, base 3, and let's say we're to do 3 to the, 10. That right there should clearly be equal to 10 because it's saying 3 to which power will take you to 3 to the 10. And obviously 3 to the 10 will take you to 3 to the 10. All right, so there's not a lot of information there, right? It's just there to remind you how logarithms and exponentials work. But let's try to apply this to a more realistic problem. So here in number 1, they're giving us an exponential, and now they're testing our knowledge about the domain and range of an exponential. So the domain is going to be all real numbers, right? So we could plug in anything for x, right? So the domain here is really all real numbers, right? Anything, right? So from negative infinity to positive infinity, depending on how you want to write that. Now the range is a little bit different, right? The range will be limited. So our range is restricted a bit because what's the lowest possible value that we could have? So the highest possible value is clear, right? So we know that we could go up until infinity. I could give e to the infinity will be equal to infinity times 3 minus 4 is obviously the infinity. But what will happen if I were to plug in, let's say I were to plug in negative infinity, right? So let's say I were to look at 3 to the times e to the negative infinity minus 4. E to the negative infinity is really equal to a number very close to 0. So that right there is essentially equal to negative 4, right? So our range, so if we were to go up until negative infinity, our function there would be approaching negative 4. I mean, that's essentially going to be a horizontal asymptote. We're never going to cross that. And our range is that we will be between negative 4, never actually reaching that, up until infinity. And now to graph this and identify the y-intercept. So the y-intercept, let me write that as well. So when x is equal to 0, what will y be equal to? And in this case here, we would have 3 times e to the 0 minus 4. E to the 0, or anything to 0, is 1. So this should be going through 3 minus 4, or negative 1. So that's our y-intercept right there. And really, in general, a exponential function will look something like, just going up more and more, its slope will be increasing, and down as we go to the left, its slope will be becoming more and more shallow, right, less steep. And that would be enough to get the points for that type of graph. And finally, let's take a look at the inverse, right? So for all inverse functions, what are we going to do? We switch our variables. So in this case, we would be saying, let's see, one is x equal to 3e to the y minus 4. Right? I switched the variables in that original function. And now we want to solve for y. So it's going to add on 4 to both sides. X plus 4 is equal to 3e to the y. Divide by 3. X plus 4 is equal to, colors change there, is equal to e over 4, like that. And now the question is, how can we get y by itself? So the key here is we could take the natural log of both sides. All right, that's what I'm going to take the natural log of both sides. And what will that lead to for our inverse? Our inverse, therefore, will be equal to the natural log of x plus 4 over 3 is equal to y, which is equal to our inverse function, same thing. You see what we did there? So we took the natural log of both sides. The natural log of e to the y, right? It's essentially saying e to which power will take you to e to the y. And that would, right? So e to the y is equal to e to the y. So that's how we remove, or that's how we isolate the variable in an exponent. Oftentimes, or usually you're going to be taking the logarithm of both sides. In the case of e, we took the natural log. That gets y by itself. So the inverse function here, the natural log of x plus 4 is equal to the natural log of x plus 4 over 3. Right, so that was number 1. And now we will move on to number 2. Now let's take a look at a second question within a word problem with the marks annotated. So we'll have a general idea of how much they would be worth within an IB exam. And here we're given the problem where we're being asked to work with a model for temperature, in this case for water. And the first task is only 1 mark, so it should be fairly easy. And it's asking us to show that the t subscript 0 is equal to 60, given the information. And the critical information here is that we're essentially given 2 points on this model, which we would need. 1 point is that at time 10 natural log of 3 minutes, the temperature is going to be 40 degrees. And also we're told that initially, in other words, at time 0, the temperature is 80 degrees, and that should be critical for answering part A. So just to show how we could do this, we could show that at time 0, t subscript 0, e to the k times 0 plus 20. And what is that going to be equal to? So we know at time 0 that the temperature should be 80 degrees, according to what they told us, that's the initial temperature. And e to the k times 0 is the same thing as e to the 0. E to the 0 or anything to 0 we know is 1, so that's going to essentially cancel out. And we're going to be left only with the fact that t0 plus 20 is equal to 80. And therefore, once we subtract 20 from both sides, therefore 60 is equal to t0. That should be that 1 mark. And now we have 4 marks, so a little bit more work here. They want us to show that k is going to be equal to, negative 1 over 10. So we could use information that we already have. We already know that t0, or the t subscript 0 is equal to 60, we said. So we know that we could say that here, so t is equal to 60 e to the k times t plus 20. And of course, the wrong way to go about this would simply to plug in. That would not be showing the information that they want. They want us to actually solve, in this case, we should be solving for k in order to get the full 4 marks. And the way that we could do that is we could plug in for t, the second point that we have. So I'm going to plug in the point 60e, and k we are told is equal to 10 natural log of 3 times k. So k, I'll just put on the outside now. Plus 20. And when we plugged in 10 ln of 3, we should be getting back a 40 degree temperature. And now we're going to solve for k. And in order to do that, I could subtract 20 from both sides. So I will subtract 20 from both sides. And that will leave us with 20 is equal to 60 e k times 10 natural log of 3. And then the last simplification is I will divide both sides by 20. That will give us, right up here, that will give us 2 over 6. I'll divide both sides by 60. That will give us 2 over 6, which is the same thing as 1 over 3. It should be equal to e to the k times natural log times 10 times the natural log of 3. Good. And now we're coming along here. And now, like we saw in the earlier problem, how do we isolate a variable that's in the exponent? So we should be using a logarithmic function. In this case, it's base e. So I'm going to take the natural log of both sides. So the natural log, So the natural log of 1 over 3 is equal to the natural log of e to the k times 10 times natural log of 3. And that's the same thing as getting the exponent by itself. Right, so when you take the natural log of both sides, that's what you're going to be left with. Natural log of 1/3 is equal to k times 10 times natural log of 3. And now the final steps. To isolate the k, I will first divide both sides by the natural log of 3. So I'm going to divide both sides by the natural log of 3 is equal to k times 10. And now almost done. How could I get from here to the answer that I want, which is k is equal to negative 1 over 10? So the first step is going to be, let's see, what we could do now is, right, so I could rewrite this. So what is the natural log of 1 over 3? That's really the same thing as 3 to the negative 1 power over the natural log of 3. Right, so the natural log of 1/3 is the same thing as 3 to the negative 1 power. And now, what else do we know? We know that the rules of exponents tell us what? That if we're taking a power of a power within a logarithm, I could really bring that exponent outside. So I could rewrite this as negative the natural log of 3 over the natural log of 3 is equal to k times 10. Lovely, because now the natural log of 3's are finally going to cancel out, which is what I needed. And then, therefore, once they cancel out, you're going to be left with negative 1 is equal to negative 1. And therefore, k by itself is equal to, when we divide 10 by both sides, is equal to negative 1 over 10. That was what we eventually had to prove. Right, so it's all over the place a little bit just for lack of space in that problem, right, just to follow along. The key point here was recognizing that we could cancel out that natural log of 3 when we recognize that 1/3 is the same thing as 3 to the negative 1 power. Rules of exponential logarithms allow you to bring out that negative 1 to the outside, and then you could cancel out the natural log of 3's. And for any logarithm problems where they're testing that idea, oftentimes you're going to have to make that sort of manipulation. Right? 4 points, 4 marks. Moving on. All right, in the last couple of parts, they want us to simply, it looks like this, plugging in or solving. Find the temperature when the water T is equal to 20 minutes. So now we could go, right, so actually we know what k is equal to now, right? So we know that k is equal to negative 1 over 10. And now for this problem here, all we're doing is plug it in, right? So 60 times e times, where k is equal to negative 1 over 10. Times 20. I will plug that into a calculator. That looks like a calculator problem. And let me see. 60 times 0.1 or negative 1 over 10 times 20 plus 20 right there. We need also the plus 20. Where's my plus 20? There. Plus 20. You plug that into a calculator. It has to be a calculator problem. And you would get back now 28.1 degrees Celsius, right? 3 significant figures. That should be your full credit. And then again, another problem here. Find when the temperature is going to equal 30. So when is 30? For what will T need to be to make this work? And again, we have another problem where we are trying to solve for a variable and an exponent. What are we going to do? I'll move over that 20. I'll subtract 20 from both sides. You'll be left with 10 is equal to 60 e to the negative 1 over 10t. We've done this type of problem a few times. Now I'll divide both sides by 60. We'll be left with 1/6 is equal to e to the negative 1 over 10t. Finally, how do I isolate that t? I will natural log both sides. Natural log. And that's going to leave us with the natural log of, the natural log of 1 divided by 6 is equal to, let's just do, if I write everything else out, negative 1.79. Is equal to, the natural log of that right-hand side is going to now be left with only that exponent, thankfully, negative 1 over 10 to the t. Right? The natural log of e to that power, we know from our formula guide, is going to be equal to that power. And then finally, our final answer will simply be dividing both sides now by negative 1 over 10. So divided by, in my case, negative 0.1. We get back the answer. T is equal to 17.9 minutes. 17.9 minutes. And sometimes, occasionally, right, they'll want you to also write it to the nearest second. So what is 0.9 minutes? 0.9 of 60 minutes is 54. So sometimes they'll tell you to write it out like 17 minutes and 54 seconds. Sometimes that will be a part of the question. It wasn't written out here, but we'll leave it at that. That is logarithmic and exponential functions. That was 2.9. We'll meet again in 2.10. See you there.